Welcome back to this week's episode of Martial Arts Business Success. We're at episode number 102, so thank you guys for tuning in.
Hey guys, if you didn't know, I'm just going to hit you right between the eyes right away before I forget, because we've got a really cool topic today about sales. But before I forget, I just want to mention about our super cool event we've got coming up on the 19th of November. So wherever you're listening or watching this here, don't forget 19th of November. Us, TIMA, are teaming up with Hyper. We're doing a day of martial arts awesomeness. There's going to be some cool instructor development, athletes day, but more importantly, well, not more importantly, what we're doing is a 4-hour marketing boot camp. We're going to teach you the $1 million marketing techniques that we've used to build all our businesses. And I think I'm pretty proud of it. Not that we do it to gloat, but our organisation grosses over $3 million every single year. That's pretty cool to be able to know that you've been able to turn your passion into something that is very profitable and make a difference in people's lives as well.
For sure. Look, just while we're on the topic of that event, I think what's really cool, we're bringing the very first one, I believe, which is going to cover all spectrums. One from a student, so you got your athletes day for the students.
Yep.
2, you got your instructor development, so instructor certification. 3, you got the areas of the business owners, all in one day. So it means you can bring your entire team, and everybody's got an area they'll walk away feeling absolutely pumped. So again, team, make sure that you're there. It's really, it's one of those first of its kind here in Australia.
Yeah.
1-day powerhouse workshop, and we can't wait to see you guys live.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, today's topic is about sales, and we're talking about a simple sales process that you can train your staff on, that you can follow. We're going to go as deep as we can in the limited time that we have, but it's something that I used when I not only are teaching martial arts business owners sales techniques, but entrepreneurs and business owners all over the world as well. So, sales is sales. Doesn't matter what you're selling. You can be selling apples, or you can sell martial arts, or you can sell apps. It doesn't really matter. But if you follow this simple system, then you're going to kick some goals. So what I ask you to do before we actually get into content is, if you are sitting down, if you do have a pad and paper, or if you don't, you're driving, just imagine the word system written down from top to bottom. So S on top, Y on the bottom, next going down all the way to system, because that's going to be what we're going to follow to help you keep on track, okay? Graham, we'll start with the letter M, my friend. What?
M, motivation. All right, so look, I guess when you talk about sales, you can have that image of a sleazy car salesman, where that's what we want. We don't want that image for people. We want to have the idea for people to choose to want to buy from you. So your motivation, and more importantly, the salesperson, the person in charge of creating that experience, they need to understand why they're doing it. Not just to make the money, not just to get the sale and the conversion, the right reasons behind that. What are the motivations behind them? So motivation has got a couple of different prongs to it. Self-motivation is one thing, but also motivation towards that greater good, that cause. I know our guys are very passionate about changing people's lives, which is why we like to make sure that, seriously, it's all about making sure that, honestly, they are driven towards getting that conversion, getting people on board, and changing their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. That motivation, that reason why you're there. You're not there to make money. I mean, it is a byproduct. We are here to build a business and give ourselves a better lifestyle. But like you said, if you know that what you're selling can change someone's life, man, you go after that sale even tenfold. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not about money anymore. It's about improving someone's life, keeping them safe on the streets. Improving families' well-being and relationship. If you go in with that mindset, well, the way that you do sell is completely different. Sure. I urge you, if your sales guys are chasing a dollar, and we used to do it too. You'd get a bonus here, and extra this monetary reward, well, then it becomes money.
Yeah.
And you just lose the reason why what we're doing and why we're doing it. So
Phil, we've got the motivation down. What comes next though? What's another important thing that all these guys need to learn?
If you move up the scale, so we've gone from M to E, we're talking about ears. And I don't just say that because I've got 2 of them that stick out real far. That's just life. But ears, and we say this all the time. It's quite a common term that we use. Is we all have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and the reason for that is because you should listen twice as much as you speak. And this is so important in sales, because too many salespeople try and tell you what you want before you even have told them what you want, and therefore not even depicting the actual, the gold nuggets within the whole sales process.
Man, look, I have to put my hand up. When I was a younger guy in this role, I've talked myself out of a conversion. I have ended up just assuming that I knew what they wanted. And it was a big humbling thing to understand And for those listening to this, you know I like to talk. You guys watching this, you know I'm not shy of gibbering on, but it's important to know when to shut up.
Yeah.
And just listen and ask questions and let them actually feel like they've been heard and being present in that. So not only are you listening, but you're taking note, you're understanding what they're actually saying. Sometimes they won't tell you the real reason, it's like underlying in there. So that's a really important part, but you won't understand that unless you sit still and listen.
Yeah, an easy way to do this, if you're not used to listening, is to ask discovery questions. So ask a question that's going to invoke them to then, I guess, unleash some information about themselves. And what you should be continually doing is just asking simple questions to see if you can drill deeper. Like a doctor, we're talking diagnostic selling. A doctor doesn't tell you what's wrong with you. They listen, they ask questions, and hopefully the patient will then divert. Is that the right word? They'll basically get out of them all the things that they're feeling, so then the doctor can then diagnose the issue. Yeah. And that's what we're doing as a sales expert in martial arts or whatever you do, is asking the right questions, get the right answers, and then give them the right products.
Cool. Well, let's keep moving, Tim. We're short on time with this one. We want to make sure we give you everything. So we started with motivation, the M. Then we had E for ears. Okay, we're moving on to state.
That's right.
For those who don't know what state is, I guess it's not just mindset. It's a lot of different things, your physiology, the way that you sit, the language you're telling yourself. And if I talk about getting into a peak state, I'll use a quick story when back in the day when I was, in this sort of program director role, I was also competing as well too. And I remember a training day where I was in full flight, wiping the blood from my nose and the sweat dripping off, and, having a random walk into the gym and very quickly wipe the blood from your nose so they can't see it and quickly turn around, and they had a 3-year-old child, and I needed to make sure that I change my state from a fighter mode into quite a family-friendly, jovial guy, as you can probably imagine. So being that chameleon is not only something we talk about with matching personality types, but being able to change to fit the environment. Because I know, again, if I'm quite energetic with my voice and someone's quite shy and reserved, you can put them off very, very quickly. Yep. So it's important to make sure your state matches within reason the environment that you're going into, and also the clientele that you're presenting to.
Absolutely. Tony Robbins is big on state, and he has these 3 things. If you want to change the results that you're getting, if you're getting a certain level of results in your life here and you want to change it, you've got to change your state, your story, and your strategy. So that's what we're really trying to do here is, everything. We're changing the story that you tell yourself with your language that you use, the mood that you're in, your state, and your strategy. We're giving you a strategy right here, a sales process. So,
and mate, I know that with all the guys that we have coming through that are learning this sort of role, it's all good and well to have a system to follow, but what is the most important thing for them to do to help them kind of own that position? What do they need to be and true to them? Well, I'm almost giving away the answer here.
All right. You're trying to just, you're doing the matador with the red cape so the bull can run through it. I get you. So it's in the next part of the system. The why is be yourself, because, everyone else is bloody taken, guys. Be yourself. Nothing worse than coming across someone who's fake. And if someone's fake and trying to sell you something, man, it reeks of just wrongness. So make sure you are yourself. Me and Graham are pretty similar personalities. Although, he's a lot more weathered than I am, although we're the same age.
Thanks,
brothers, but, we're quite outspoken, we're out there. But, I'll tell you, I don't think I was always that way. No. It's definitely a learnt thing. And if that's not you, you don't have to be that either. So be you, be yourself. And I guarantee you, if you just be comfortable with who you are, and that goes with everything in life, then you're going to set yourself up for more results in life.
Yeah, for sure. Look, there's quite a few things that we touched on. There's 2 more things that I want to sort of go through. And again, if any of these points are, of interest to you guys, you want to find out some more details about it a little bit more in depth, obviously hit us up, contact us. We've got a bunch of stuff with our TIMA Mastermind group where we talk about this on a regular basis. So team, I would highly recommend following up on this and finding out some more. But let's keep on tracking. We've got a couple more things. And I guess strategy, Phil, I briefly mentioned that. Now, being yourself is one thing, but if you're yourself and you don't have a guidance to follow, you're not going to get the results you want. So what do we need to make sure that we're doing on a regular basis?
Well, man, you're the baker. You're the chef, dude. Like, if you don't have a recipe, you're pretty crafty. You're a seasoned veteran in the kitchen, my friend, and you could probably concoct something out of nothing. And the same goes with the seasoned salesman as well.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you need something to follow, which is like a recipe, a strategy to follow. Something where you can go, I'm sort of trying to go down this path this way, and I'm trying to get the other end. Yes, I might go left and right and add a bit of this and a bit of that in, you know, personalize the situation, but I still want to try and get to this end point, which is the sale, which is getting them to come into the appointment. So
look, guys, this is something that we have tried and tested for a very long time, broken apart. In the TIMA online stuff, you've got a detailed sales strategy in there that help you go through step by step how we do it. We're always looking to not reinvent the wheel, but rejig and relook at our processes. So there's always current information being put and uploaded in there. So check it out, team. Final one, I guess, is when you hit that roadblock. You've done all the magic, you yourself, you presented all the stuff, and then you have some objections. So the tactics that goes with that is the next letter, T, tactics, which will finish off the whole word system. And I guess you've got to also understand sometimes tactics need to change depending on the rebuttals and the queries and questions. You agree?
Absolutely. It doesn't matter what you're in. You know, if you're in a war in the army, if you're sailing on a ship, if you're wherever you are, if you've come across some sort of barrier, some objection, some challenge, you have to change tactics. It's like if you keep coming up against a wall and hitting your head against it, well, you're not going to get through it eventually. Maybe just go around it, you know, go over it, go under it. So the tactics that you have are generally price objections, meaning how much is it? And people don't like being told, oh, you got to come in to get the fee. But also then if you say, how much is it? And they go, oh, that's too expensive. Well, what tactics do you have to overcome that objection? Or even if someone says, geez, that's a lot cheaper than I thought, it's not really an objection, but how do you handle that? It's a challenge. It's like, well, geez, am I underselling myself? Should I have sold them the higher program or whatever it may be? Or I don't have enough time, my schedule doesn't I can't make those classes. So you really need tactics to be able to deal with every single one of those challenges, guys.
Look, for all the guys who are chiming in on this, all of this information, although we've laid it out in a format for you, can be effective at any given moment. You know, listening all the way through, having different strategies and tactics at the start versus the end. Team, it's important to make sure that you've got that reference so you can go, yes, I'm doing that, yes, I'm doing that. Ooh, we don't have that as clear. I do that automatically. Everything we do is so that I can teach others to do it, not just be the only person specialised. So
that's right.
Check back on yourselves, have a bit of an audit of your process and see if you actually do have all these things in place for you guys.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up.
Yep.
We're at the end of it. We're done our time. Don't forget the event, 19th of November 2017, that is. So if you're listening to this and watching it in 2018, 2020 or whatever, you're a little late, but there may be another event coming real soon. So make sure you head to our website, guys, tima.com.au/P/event. You'll get to the registration. And don't forget, if you love what you're hearing, if you want to be a part of the TIMA Mastermind, come join us on Facebook. We get to do live Q&A. Just head over to our website. You'll find the details there, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.